Chapter 8 The Eternal Brahma. Arjuna said, O Krishna, who is the eternal being? What is Adhyatma, or the nature of the eternal being? What is Karma? Who are the mortal beings, or Adhibhuta? And who are the divine beings, or Adideva? Who is the super soul, and how does he dwell in the body? How can you be remembered at the time of death by those who have control over their minds, O Krishna? The Supreme Lord said, the immutable Atma or spirit is called Brahma or eternal being. The nature, including the inherent power of cognition and desire of Brahma, is called Adhyatma. The creative power of Brahma that causes manifestation of living entity or Jiva is called Karma. Mortal beings are called Adibhuta. The expressions of a divine personality such as Narayana, Mahavishnu, Ishvara, etc. are called divine beings or Adideva. I am the super soul or Adiyagna, residing inside the body as the supreme controller, O Arjuna. The one who remembers me exclusively, even while leaving the body at the time of death, attains me. There is no doubt about this. Whatever object one remembers as one leaves the body at the end of life, one attains that object, O Arjuna, because of the constant thought of that object. One remembers that object at the end of life and achieves it. Therefore, always remember me and do your duty. You shall certainly attain me if your mind and the intellect are ever focused on me. By contemplating me with an unwearying mind that is disciplined by the practice of meditation, one attains the Supreme Being, O Arjuna. One who meditates at the time of death with steadfast mind and devotion on the Supreme Being, namely Parabrahma, as the omniscient, the oldest, the controller, smaller than the smallest and bigger than the biggest, the sustainer of everything, the inconceivable, the self-luminous like the sun, and as transcendental or beyond the material reality, by making the flow of bioimpulses, namely prana or life forces, rise up to the middle of the two eyebrows by the power of yoga, and holding there attains me, the Supreme Divine Person. When one leaves the physical body by controlling all senses, focusing the mind on God and prana in the cerebrum, engaged in yogic practice, meditating on me and uttering Om, the sacred monosyllable sound, power of eternal being, namely Brahma, one attains the supreme abode. I am easily attainable, O Arjuna, by that ever steadfast yogi who always thinks of me and whose mind does not go elsewhere. After attaining me, the great souls do not incur rebirth in this miserable transitory world because they have attained the highest perfection. The residents of all the worlds, up to and including the world of Brahma, the Creator, are subject to the miseries of repeated birth and death, But after attaining me, O Arjuna, one does not take birth again. Those who know that the day of the Creator, Brahma, lasts 1000 yugas or 4.32 billion years, and that his night also lasts 1000 yugas, they are the knowers of day and night. All manifestations come out of the primary material nature, Adi Prakriti or Avyakta. Adi Prakriti or Avyakta. At the arrival of the day of Brahma, namely Creator, and they again merge into the same at the coming of Brahma's night. The same multitude of beings come into existence again and again at the arrival of the day of the Creator and are annihilated inevitably at the arrival of Brahma's night. There is another eternal transcendental existence higher than the changeable material nature, Prakriti, that does not perish when all created beings perish. This is called the unmanifest eternal being, Avyakta Akshara Brahma. This is also said to be Paramadharma, the supreme abode. Those who attain my supreme abode do not take birth again. This supreme abode, O Arjuna, is attainable by unanswering devotion to me, within which all beings exist and by which all this universe is pervaded. O Arjuna, now I shall describe different paths departing by which, during death, the yogis do or do not come back. Fire, light, daytime, the brighter lunar fortnights, and the 6th month of the northern solstice of the sun. Departing by the path of these celestial controllers, devas, yogis who know the eternal being, namely Brahma, attain Brahma. And on the other hand, smoke, night, the dark lunar fortnight, and the 6 months of southern solstice of the sun. Departing by these paths, the righteous attain lunar light or heaven and reincarnate. The paths of light, of spiritual practice and self-knowledge, and the path of darkness, of materialism and ignorance, are thought to be the world's two eternal paths. The former leads to salvation, mukti or nirvana, and the latter leads to rebirth. Knowing these two paths, O Arjuna, your yogi is not bewildered at all. Therefore, O Arjuna, be steadfast in yoga with me at all times. The yogi who knows all this goes beyond getting the benefits of the study of the Vedas, performance of sacrifices, austerities, and charities, and attains Paramadharma, the supreme eternal abode. Thus ends the 8th chapter named the Eternal Brahma of the Upanishad of the Bhagavad Gita, the scripture of yoga, dealing with the science of the Absolute in the form of the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna.